Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Turn 3 Racing Network, Superior Class Auto Racing on tap here tonight, kicking off season number 2 here at Daytona International Speedway. This is the Daytona 250, and there are a few new faces out there in the league. We currently have 23 drivers ready to take to tonight's grid. Not gonna go through the points because, well, it's the start of a new season. Points do not matter, but the chase for the championship begins tonight. Tonight we'll have to wait to find out whether or not your defending series champion David Bradford can come out and assert some dominance early in the season. The schedule this time around is a little bit shaken up, a little bit different. So some of these drivers are going to visit some tracks they haven't been to just yet. Right now in happy hour, just a little under 8 minutes left remaining before we get set to go qualifying. And Travis Smith in the 9 machine sitting on top of the board with Brian Littleton in the 80 machine. Alan Dufresne sitting in third. Brian Muskell Jr. in fourth. Jeff Napier followed by J.D. Baker, Mickey Spear, Kason Plott, David Bradford, Bobby Hamilton Jr. rounds out your top 10 on the speed charts right now in happy hour. And, well, got to the track a little bit early and forgot to do some things. So we're going to step away for just a brief moment here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Got to pay a few of the bills, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back with all your racing action live here from Daytona International Speedway. Back live once again here from Daytona International Speedway. We've got 5 minutes remaining here in happy hour before we get set to go qualifying for race number 1 here in season number 2 for the Superior Class Auto Racing on iRacing.com, world's #1 racing simulator. If you want to jump in and drive it, I am sure they got it. It is a lot cheaper to wad them up on here. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times. A few of these drivers may wad 1 or 2 of them up here tonight. Restrictor plate action, things can go bad in a hurry. These drivers allotted one fast repair here tonight, so very you can be cautious knowing that you got a second chance, but that also gives you a little bit more will to maybe stick the car where it shouldn't be, knowing that you do have that opportunity to fix it up and get another shot. But something that's going to be very interesting this season is the introduction of stage racing here in Superior Class Auto Racing. We will have stage racing all season long. Tonight's stages, sorry, got a little sidetracked there. Tonight's stages will be at lap 35 as well as lap 70. So that's going to afford the drivers a bit of a breather, a chance to regroup, a chance to get back in the mix, if you will. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Not sure why that is doing that. It's been doing that lately. We will have to get that worked out. Anyways, 2.5 minutes remaining here in happy hour before these drivers get set to put down the fastest lap that they can. We've got 24 drivers here today in pit stalls. So, pretty big field for tonight. It's going to be a great race. I can't wait to get this thing kicked off. I love restrictor plate racing myself. So, being able to watch these gentlemen go out there and put down just crazy laps and crazy side-by-side racing action, it's something that I just absolutely love. So let's see who's actually out on track. Doesn't look like the track is very busy at all. Looks like we've only got one or two drivers out there. Looks like the 83 of Jason Spear. He is on track with a 3-pack right here. As we inch closer to stepping on over to qualifying, just about 1 minute left here in happy hour, so drivers getting the last little bit that they can, shaking down the cars as much as they can, seeing how they're going to react. You may find yourself in a small pack like this at some point in time in the race. So it can be very interesting with green flag pit stops, stage racing's involved. Strategies can be all over the board. So you may find yourself with just one or two partners out there. Gonna try to see if we can do a little something real quick as we get set to swap on over for big time hit to that pit wall for the 83. He's going to put that back in the trailer, get a new one, that's for sure. There you see him already back on pit lane with a new ride. So, ooh, that's got to hurt a little bit right there. Yellow flag in the air. Happy hour is over. Qualifying is now underway for the first time here this season. Season number 2, race number 1. Looks like Will Jones in his 56 machine. He's getting off pit road now. fast and early in that 7-Up Ford Mustang. Looking nice and sharp out there, young man. Looking good, looking good. Only 5 minutes for qualifying. Got to be careful there on exit of pit lane, getting back up onto the track. And you're going to notice that these cars are they're going to stay up near that wall coming around their first time lap. Oh, as that camera's behind the stands, that's not a good one to switch to. We'll have to remember to that one. And you see how close the 56 is running right to that outside wall. That's to keep the engine wound up as much as possible to try to get as much speed, as much momentum out of it before you drop down to that yellow line. As you'll see right here, the 56 gonna drop down any minute now. Coming off of turn number 4, try to shorten the track. And if you remember, Will Jones was one of the drivers in the hunt for the championship when they reached the final race last season. Unfortunately, Will not able to get to the track that evening to fight for the championship. So very, very tough break there for Will. What's up, Roger? How you doing, my man? Will slotting in the 5th position. Looks like Jeff Napier in the 40 sitting on the provisional pole right now as we reach the halfway point here in qualifying. A lot of drivers still yet to put down some timed laps that are out there on track. Brian Mescal Jr. not timed yet. Travis Smith, Brendan Puffenberger not attempting a lap yet. Neither has Colt Ansley. So about half of the field out there for qualifying. Halfway through qualifying, Will Jones back across the line to the top of the board. We'll take a look now at the 19 of Kasim Plott as he makes his way around with his first time lap. Will anybody be able to take away that top spot from Will Jones as Happy Hour is getting close to the finishing mark here? 1 minute 45 seconds remaining for anybody to try to knock Will Jones off of that pole position. And what can Kaysen do? 19th first time by. He's going to have a ton to pick up. Down the backstretch on his final lap. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Can anybody knock Will Jones off of that pole position? Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to. Your defending series champion David Bradford and his 46 machine was only able to walk away with second and make that third now. As Mark Truxell sneaks his way up into the top 2. What does Kaysen have here at the line? Does he have anything for it? Up to 10th. Will Jones gonna skate away, I believe, with the pole position here today. Doesn't look like anybody else is out there on track putting a qualifying lap down. So qualifying, fast and furious, that's for sure. So we're going to take a moment, step on down trackside for your pre-race festivities. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so
back here live at Daytona International Speedway for race number 1 here in Season 2 for Superior Class Auto Racing. Field has took to the grid. Your qualifying order for tonight's Daytona 250. And Will Jones and his 56 machine gonna walk away with the pole here this evening. Mark Truxell just to his outside. Row number 2, the 46 of David Bradford, followed by the 7 of Hunter Kent. Row number 3, the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. and the 18 of Chris Mathis. Row number 4, the 83 of Jason Spear and the 00 of Quentin Murdoch. Row number 5, the 17 of Alan Dufries and the 19 of Kason Plott. Row number 6 here tonight, the 9 of Travis Smith and the 2 of Hayes Booth. Row number 7, the 55 of Cameron Hagman and the 53 of Steve Murdoch. Row number 8, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. and the 54 of Justin Napier. Row number 9, the 78 of J.D. Baker and the 40 of Jeff Napier. Row 20 here tonight for the Daytona 250, the 3 of Tommy D'Angelo and the 88 of Channing Ballou. Row number 11, the 80 of Brian Littleton, followed by the 23 of Mickey Spear. Row number 12, the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger and the 86 of Colt Ansley. That's gonna be your field for tonight's race. Will Jones will bring them to the start-finish line. Pace car getting ready to duck off, and we'll go back. Green flag racing once again here in Superior Class Auto Racing on Turn 3 Racing Network, and we're back racing once again. Will Jones with a good start. Mark Truxell struggling to get going on that outside lane, but we all know how these races go. Accordion effect happens, a little bit of a struggle further through the field back here around the 7th, 8th position. Oh, contact! Looks like, contact between a few drivers. Drivers all over the place back in the rear of the field. Mickey Spear with some trouble. Colt Ansley, Tommy D'Angelo. Oh my goodness, all these drivers having issues, but back at the front, Will Jones has the field in hand, all single file right now, working their way back to the start-finish line. For the first time here tonight from Daytona International Speedway, Will Jones leads the first lap. And that little incident there at the beginning of the race, that's going to break up quite a few of the drivers. Looks like from about 15th on back, those drivers are struggling, have a gap between not only themselves but this lead pack here, this lead pack consisting of your top 15 drivers. So my goodness, things could get a little bit dicey early here at Daytona. Cars wiggling around a little bit in the draft as they work their way around the tri-oval. Lap number 3. 98 laps left to go. Nobody giving an inch just yet. Outside lane not really developing, not really going anywhere at this point in time. Only 3 make it 4, 5 cars now. That inside lane is the place to be. Looks like Brian Littleton, Brandon Puffenberger, Justin Napier, Steve Murdoch, Mickey Spear, all of these drivers, they're going to have to start working with each other if they want to try to catch up to the field. But you do have to keep in mind there will be a stage break at lap 35 here tonight, so as long as they can stay on the lead lap, they may be okay. very early in the race, and it looks like we see a few drivers wanting to mix it up, but the majority of the field out there content with running single file down on the bottom lane. They have a good 7-8 second gap back to the smaller pack of cars consisting of maybe 5 or 6. So the numbers are in their favor, and it looks like a few of these crew chiefs and spotters out there communicating already just, hey, let's calm down, log a few of these laps, and let's not tear any of these machines up too early. Back down the backstretch with a big push into 3 this time. The 71 of Alan Dufries giving Mark Truxell a shot. But Truxell not able to utilize it, not able to get to the front and around Will Jones, who has held serve from the drop of the green flag as we begin lap number 6 here tonight out of 100. Mark Truxell, remember, was one of your championship contenders as well. So Mark up at the front, familiar face to us at the front, but we've got a few newcomers up inside of this top 15 little pack here. Travis Smith running in 10th. Brian Mescal Jr. running in 14th. Looks like he may be backing up to try to go pick up a fellow driver back there, possibly J.D. Baker or Brian Littleton. Brendan Puffenberger right there as well, so maybe some fuel strategy out of that newcomer. But Travis Smith, he's not worried about being new here, being the rookie, so to speak. He's mixing it up there at the front. 2 wide racing once again. Mark Truxell looking 3 wide now as David Bradford is trying to make that middle lane work. I don't think it's going to work out for him here. Oh, look at that. Bobby Hamilton Jr. moves his Ford Mustang to the middle lane just in front of Bradford. Where will Bradford go? To the bottom. That's going to leave Hamilton Jr. stuck in the middle on his own, but wait, the 83 of Jason Spear bringing a train of cars up through the middle with him. We are 3 wide, 2 and 3 rows deep now, coming back across the stripe. Once again, Will Jones puts another lap in the books. My goodness, and I tell you what, while they're 3 wide, let's take this opportunity to bring you one of Turn 3's Turn It Up. Boy, I'm telling you, that is one of my absolute favorite shots here. Brought to you by the guys back at Turn 3 Racing Network. Do appreciate each and every one of you behind the scenes, making things go round and round. (10-4), thank you for the info, Roger. Mark Truxell was up at the front. Now he has dropped a little bit behind, falling back to about the 11th spot now on track, but nothing to be worried about. Still in tow with the field. and Brian Littleton, Brandon Puffenberger, Justin Napier, and Jeff Napier, Mickey Spear, they have all grouped up together with each other, but they find themselves way behind the field. They are 18 seconds behind your leader, and that is not a good thing this early here tonight. Back up at the front, Will Jones, still in control of the race, has been since the drop of the green flag here tonight. So Will looks like he's gonna keep that 7-Up Ford Mustang glued to that yellow line. Drivers mixing it up just a little bit. Maybe testing some runs, seeing what the cars will do. Maybe going to utilize this information when we get close to a stage break. So we'll have to just wait and see. And I tell you what, Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s paint, I like that right there. The Whoppers Ford Mustang. I tell you what, that thing looks pretty good too. Got 7-Up and Whoppers on the front row here at Daytona International Speedway. And for the first time here today, another driver leads the race besides Will Jones. Bobby Hamilton Jr. able to make that outside lane work, make the pass, drop down to the bottom. Now he's got the 56 of Will Jones pushing him back into turn number 3 as we're beginning to see this first pack slowly break up. Brian Mescal Jr. looks like he's about a second or so off the field. There you see this lead pack beginning to develop into 2 smaller packs, and that's going to benefit the drivers that were further back that had the issues at the beginning of the race. It's going to slow those other cars down just a little bit and maybe allow them to come up through and make up some time. Will Jones looking to the outside, and that 7-Up Ford Mustang trying to take the lead back away from Bobby Hamilton Jr. Only 2 lead changes so far here today. Now fanning out 3 wide on the front stretch. 83 of Jason Spear thought about it, thought better of it, ducked back down in line right behind Will Jones as we continue side-by-side racing action for the top 3-4. Make it top 10 going down the back stretch on lap 15 out of 100 here tonight for Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer. Gonna go down now on board with your defending series champion David Bradford as we watch him just behind your race leader Bobby Hamilton Jr. working his way off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. And that just gives you a little bit of an idea of the banking of how these cars are literally almost sideways in relation to a level ground. Yeah, I was going somewhere with that, and then it started getting a little out there. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on going with that. We absolutely can. Logan, who do you want to go to? We're on the gyro right now with defending series champion David Bradford. We can switch off to a different driver back through the field. Tell you what, let's go back here a little bit further back, jump on board with the 19 of Kason Plott as he is just behind Bradford, as a matter of fact. So we'll wait and see how many different drivers do what. Tell you what, let's go with, we're going to jump back here now with newcomer Travis Smith, as he is just a few rows back from your race leaders. Now we can really see a lot of the cars wiggling and moving around on this racetrack. There you hear Travis having to let up out of the gas to maintain the gap that he's got in front of him, not wanting to mix it up too much. But meanwhile, back up at the front, Will Jones is going to walk away. Oh my goodness, that stayed on screen. Going to walk away with the race lead once again, as we were back further through the field watching the great action, watching these cars move around the way that they do. Will Jones was able to make his way back by Bobby Hamilton Jr., but now Jason Spear is right there challenging for the race lead through 1 and 2 back down the back stretch. They're going to be side by side for the race lead once again. This time it's the 83 with help from the 00 of Quentin Murdoch out there on track. And my goodness, tell you what, Quentin's doing a fantastic job out there today. A little bit of driver facts for you about Quentin. That's right, Quentin is the youngest driver here in this series. And not very long here in iRacing, and doing a fine job up there with drivers that have quite a bit more experience. Back through turns 1 and 2. Or, I apologize, that is 3 and 4. Coming back to the front stretch, Will Jones still leading the field side by side for the second spot between Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Jason Spear. These two lines beginning to according a little bit more, starting to see a few of these guys wiggle around a little bit. And now Bobby Hamilton Jr. ducking to the apron this time by. He's going to let the field by, trying to see what's going on with Bobby, or if he's just not liking what he's seeing at this point. Decides to go back to the rear of the field right now, dropping way back to 12th. Going to give up another possible 2 or 3 positions here as we get closer and closer to the end of stage number 1 here today for the Daytona 250. Live on Turn 3 Racing Network, your race leader, the 83 of Jason Spear, has been able to utilize the push on the outside from Quentin Murdoch and duck his way down on the bottom lane just in front of Will Jones. Now Jason Spear is in command of this race. Looking back at that second pack that's been behind the 8-ball since the drop, since the word go, as there you see driver very close to being put 1 lap down. I believe that is Brandon Puffenberger with some troubles. There you see the right front damage. Oh, and up into the wall right in front of the race leaders. He's going to bounce it off the wall a few times. Oh my goodness. That may have been, that's actually Steve Murdoch. He is having a lot of trouble out there right now, getting the car going back in the right direction, being scored now 2 laps down. So Steve not having quite the race that he was hoping for here today. Back up at the front, battle still raging on for your race lead. We have got right at about the 10, 11 cars. There you see Travis Smith, 12th position, lingering in the background. So we've got about 11 cars right here in this lead pack. Almost 12 laps remaining. before the end of stage number 1. So, is anybody going to make a move? Is anybody going to risk having to use their one and only fast repair on winning a stage? Or are they going to... Oh, and the double low goes around Quentin Murdoch. Oh, my goodness. Hard impact for that double low of Quentin Murdoch. And we're going to have to take another look at that with our turn 3 replay. You see Quentin on the outside making his way back to the tri-oval. Everything looks fine. Oh, and just looked like a double push there, and things went wrong from that point. Let's take one more look at that up from above with the blimp here. Oh, and just, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Just a push gone bad. Looked like one driver may have got one of them Phantom or Ghost X's right there. Ooh, tough break for Quentin Murdoch. He's going to have to use his fast repair, that's for sure. But we'll regain. I can't even speak. We'll rejoin the front of the field as the pace car comes around. Jason Spear going to lead the field, I would assume, to pit road, as we've got 11 laps to go before the end of stage number 1. These drivers have been out there for 25 laps. So, and nobody coming to pit road. Very interesting. These drivers going to stay out here, not come down pit road. Looks like we do have a few in the back coming down pit road. Brian Maskell Jr., J.D. Baker, Quentin Murdoch, Brandon Puffenberger also on pit road. Brian Littleton, Mickey Spear. So maybe 8 drivers down there on pit road. Maybe the fuel will last. Maybe the fuel will last long enough to get to the end of stage number 1. And if it does, then you're definitely going to be able to make it all the way through stage number 2. So while we work our way around the track under caution here for the first time tonight from Daytona International Speedway, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. welcome back, and thank you once again for sticking with us, staying with us, or joining us out here tonight for race number 1 in season number 2 for Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer in partnership with Little Tate's Cupcakes, Cameron Hagman Photography, Red Dot Storage, as well as Whoppers. And man, I tell you what, pace car lights are off. We are set to go back green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway. And what's going to happen? Stage number 1. Just a handful of laps away from being completed. Who is willing to risk it for a stage win? And who is going to try to just survive through stage number 1 and through stage number 2? And I don't believe Baker got any damage there. I believe he was a little bit further back, so I do not believe he was involved in that. Looked like there was only 1 or 2 cars involved, but JD's car looks to be okay. So I would assume everything to be all right with his car. We'll take a quick look at it for you, though. Looks like everything's straight and fine and dandy with the car. As we will go back up front with your race leader as we get set to go back green flag racing once again here from Daytona International Speedway. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air once again. Jason Spear spinning the tires a little bit. Will Jones taking advantage, moving his way up to the front. Big push by that 19 of Cason Plott as the 46 of David Bradford now shoving Jason Spear back to the front. Big wiggle back there a little further in the field out of that 9 of Travis Smith, as this field starts to beat, bang, and push a little bit more as we close in on the end of stage number 1. And 10-4, Jada, gotcha. We'll keep an eye on them every now and again for you, try to get a little on-screen action for you when we can. But right now, focus on the end of stage number 1. We are on lap 30 out of 100 here tonight for the Daytona 250. 100 laps. That's right. And we are close. Very, very close to the end of stage number 1. Just 6 laps remaining as the lead pack works their way back down the back stretch. I say lead pack, but that is basically your entire field. Only 2 cars not up there with this lead pack. You do see a few strung out there. That's from around the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger, Brian Littleton, Justin Napier, Tommy D'Angelo. All of those drivers playing it a little bit safe here as we close in on the end of lap number 1 as we come to an end here in stage number 1. And Bradford jumps to the outside now, looking to take over the lead. Jason Spears going to have to get a big push now, as it looks like Bradford's going to utilize that air off of Will Jones and push his way around to take over the lead of that bottom lane. Now your defending series champion leading the field for the first time this season. Lap in the books, and it has got to feel good to be back up at the front. Close battle here, side by side racing action, 4 and 5 rows deep Back down the backstretch, Travis Smith maintaining the 5th car on the outside lane. He is running in the 10th spot. Now, that 56 of Will Jones with a good push out of Kason Plotton. That 19 machine just behind him was almost able to get up there and challenge for your race lead as we come around to start lap 33 out of 100 here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Back down the backstretch and heading into turn number 3 once again. David Bradford still leading that inside lane. Will Jones still on the outside trying to get up there. Looks like Kason Plott is wanting to go a little higher on the track. He's going to get moved out of the way, and now we're starting to see a third lane develop. Who's going to go with them? As we are closing in on the final lap here in stage number 1. When will this stage come to a conclusion? Will it be the start of lap 35 or the completion? We'll have to wait to see, wait to find out, but it looks like the 9 of Travis Smith, he's ready to go. He's coming to the 8 of that 7 of Hunter Kent. Can those two make their way around on the outside and do anything? Now the 88 of Channing Ballou looking to the outside at the line. My goodness, Bradford 4 wide. Cars around, big wreck. Oh, big wreck. Big time wreck. Caution is out. There is a lot of cars around. My goodness. A lot of cars damaged in that one. We're going to have to take a look back here with the turn 3 replay one more time. Try to figure out what happened. Try to figure out how it happened. And we're going to go up to the blimp for the first one here. Try to see what happened. Everything seems to be okay. Channing Ballou running right there in the middle. No contact being made. 7 in the 9 going to get a little bit of a run right here. And it looks like everything's still fine. 3 wide. Oh, and contact between the 83 and the 56. That shoves the 88 into the wall. And then carnage from that point on. Ooh, a lot more cars caught up in that one, but your defending series champion is going to be able to walk away from this latest mess that has occurred here late in stage number 1, and I believe that is going to bring us to the end of stage number 1. So pit road will be open this time, Pie. And look for these drivers to come down and hit pit road as soon as it's open. Field catching up with the pace car. Looks like pit road is open. Drivers now hitting pit lane. So we'll wait right here for just a moment and see how things shake out off of pit road. Everybody into their box pretty cleanly. Oh, and it looks like one driver with some trouble. That is the 2 machine with some issues. Hayes Booth with some issues getting into his stall. Looks like we do have a few drivers on and off pit road. Bobby Hamilton Jr. going to walk away with the lead off of pit road. As we rejoin what who will be your race leader. Bobby Hamilton Jr. getting the job done on pit road. Great job by him and his crew. Looks like we've got one driver trying to get a wave around. So, yeah. My goodness, that was a little bit of an intense stage number 1. So, we're going to step away for just a brief moment. When we come back, we'll try to get a brief word in with your stage 1 winner, your defending series champion.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, as the field works their way down the back stretch under caution. We're going to see if we can't get in a quick word or two with your winner of stage number 1, your defending series champion, the 46 of David Bradford. You got your ears on, bud?
I hear you, bud. We're still a little bit of strategy, but I can hear you.
All right, man. I'll keep it short and sweet, man. Great job winning stage number 1 here. First time we've had a stage in Superior Class Auto Racing, so congratulations with that. And just real quick, you want to give any shout-outs or anything before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. Got to give a big shout-out to Dr. Pepper, putting her name on the car. Man, they came through. They came through for us real good. As far as the league sponsorship and stuff like that, I was really happy to get that stage win for them, pick up where we left off last season. And thanks everybody at home for watching.
All right, man. Good luck. Elbows up.
Thank you.
There you have it. That was your stage 1 winner, your defending series champion, David Bradford. Needing to discuss a little bit of strategy with the crew chief, so we sped that driver interview up just a little bit more than normal, as pace car lights are off once again here on the Ford Mustang. And now we can set our sights in on lap number 70, because that is when stage number 2 will draw to an end. And right now, I mean, I know the field can catch back up, but there is not a lot of drivers grouped up with this field. A lot of drivers having to catch up right now. And as we've got a chance, we'll do a little bit of house cleaning real quick. 24 drivers took to the grid. We still have 22 drivers on the racing surface. Do have a few cars a lap down. Colt Ansley in his 86 machine not able to get on track. Chris Mathis finds trouble 3 laps down. Steve Murdoch 2 laps down. Jeff Napier off track 1 lap down. Quentin Murdoch, last car, 1 lap down, or first car, 1 lap down. Pace car is off. Your leader ready to fire things off once again. Green flag is out. Jason Spear fires away in the field, gets going once again as the 78 of J.D. Baker making a move out there on the outside with help from the 54 of Justin Napier. And what can Baker do running up there on the high lane, leading that outside lane? We've seen the move come from that outside lane multiple times here tonight, and it looks like they're going to motor right on past that 83. But will the 78 stay with his help, or will he drop down? Looks like he's willing to stay up there in that high lane with the drivers that have got him where he needs to go. Looks like one driver hitting pit road. Possible penalty needing to be served as the field has gotten a little bit stretched out here now. Your top 10 running nose to tail basically on that inside lane. Only 3 drivers up at the front utilizing that outside lane. Then you have a small group of cars trying to work their way up to the front on the outside. That is the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr., the 9 of Travis Smith, the 80 of Brian Littleton. Now 3 wide for 8th position, Cameron Hagan, Mark Truxell. 3 wide now as Brian Mescal Jr. trying to make his way by that 5 of Mark Truxell and up towards the front of the field. The 2 of Hayes Booth now going up to that high lane, filling that void, trying to break up the momentum being built off of that 33. Race leader J.D. Baker sitting right there outside row, not wanting to drop to the bottom. He's liking that high line, liking where he's at, liking the feel of the car, but slowly and surely that bottom lane has regained the energy. Going to be a battle at the line. Oh, close call. Give the lap to Justin Napier. First lap led here tonight by Justin, so great job by him to get to the top of the board, not give up on that outside lane as we see Hayes Booth dropping back down once again to fall in line on the inside lane. There you see one of the cars that ducked to pit road now in danger of going down a lap as they are running all alone, and that is going to be a tough thing to overcome. You never want to be alone at a super speedway track. And it looks like Brian Littleton having some connection issues a little further through the field. Up at the front, these top 5 not willing to give up the race just yet. The 71 of Alan Dufries in trouble now, trying to hug that yellow lane. Stay up out of the way, out of everybody's way, no problems. Good job there through 3 and 4. Now very close quarters with the 2. Off of 4, he's going to slot just in front of Alan's nose right there. My goodness, that could have been very, very close. Baker starting to suffer and fade in that 3rd and highest lane out there on track. Now looks like they are going to drop way behind field, beginning to get single file as we work our way down the backstretch. Lap 45 out of 100 scheduled here tonight for the Daytona 250. Live on Turn 3 Racing Network, you are watching Superior Class Auto Racing, presented by Mug Root Beer. Jason Spear, Justin Napier, right there at the front of the field. Hayes Booth, newcomer this season, running right there in 3rd. Cameron Hagan in 4th. Brian Mescal Jr. 5th. Travis Smith 6th. Brian Littleton in 7th. Brandon Puffenberger finds himself in 8th. Mark Truxell in 9th. And J.D. Baker goes from leading the field back to the 10th position. they're in the mix with this lead pack. Second car outside lane, Chris Mathis, 2 laps down right now. So he is trying 3 laps down. I apologize. Oh, big moment there for, oh my goodness, who was that? I believe that was Mickey Spear. Yes, it was Mickey with some trouble. No front end on the front of his Ford Mustang, so he has got some heavy damage to fix, trying to limp it on home to the end of stage number 2, then possibly use that fast repair to get himself back in this thing, but he is going to find himself 1 lap down. We have still got 16 cars on the lead lap, 15 of them are right here in this lead pack. Gonna go up with a little bit different camera shot than what we brought you here so far at Turn 3 Racing Network. If you're watching, let me know what you think. Obviously, that's not a very good one. Way to go there, Dave. You see that connection issue still giving the 80 of Brian Littleton some troubles. No drivers grouped up behind him. Blinking may be a little bit too much for them to be trusting him at this point in time in the race. And yeah, we're going to have to move it up out of the zombie land up there. This is a pretty cool shot right there, coming at you through the fence and around. Yes, sir. That's a good one right there, I'll tell you what. Meanwhile, Justin Napier has the lead of the race. Jason Spear and Joe Hayes Booth just behind him. Alan Dufresne's 4th car in line is the first car. 1 lap down. Quentin Murdoch also 1 lap down. Ooh, big move by the 55 of Cameron Hagan to go out to that outside lane just in front of Chris Mathis. Can Mathis do anything with him is the question, as it looks like we've got our top 15 all here running with each other. Bobby Hamilton Jr. sitting in that 15th position. We are halfway here tonight in the Daytona 250. That's right, 248 miles to be exact. When you do the math here at Daytona International Speedway, 2.48 miles around this very fast, smooth, high-banked track. With only 14 or 15 laps on the tires, and just as I say that, we do have a driver hit pit road. Looks like that's Quentin Murdoch in the double O. He's already being shown 1 lap down, going to be in danger of losing a second lap here tonight. And some drivers having some misfortune, not the way you want to kick off the season. But sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's just nothing you can do about it either, you know what I mean? Sometimes it happens. Cameron Hagan is still digging on that outside lane, trying to make something happen. He does have Chris Mathis in that 18 machine, as well as Mark Truxell trying to help him out. Not sure if Cameron's going to be able to get up there or not. Very close, tight racing action, as we'll now jump down on board from the cockpit here of Jason Spear as he makes his way around this track. Just listen to that engine sing, man. That is just a thing of beauty. You don't really hear any lift. That is absolutely wonderful to hear. Take a look back a little further back in the outside lane. Now you see a few cars back after the leader in the line. You do hear a little bit of lifting as we are on board now with the driver of the 33 machine, Brian Mescal Jr., currently running in the, we'll let him cross the start-finish line, still in the 5th position. So Brian Mescal Jr., one of the newcomers, out there doing one heck of a job here tonight, as well as the field makes its way back down the back stretch. Once again, lap 55 out of 100 here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. And man, stage number 2 coming closer and closer. It's slowly getting us there. The 42 looks like he's having a few connection issues now. Brian Littleton has seemed to be able to clear up his technical difficulties and maintain a top 10 running inside, just in the 9th position. Side-by-side racing action at the front of the field for the lead of the race. Can the 55 of Cameron Hagan come around and take the lead? Or will Justin Napier, who has a little bit of front end damage, look at that, just on the front end there. We'll have to take a look at this. Oh, big push. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Cameron Hagan, I don't know how you didn't wreck that. Good hands by Allstate, State Farm, and whatever insurance companies you can think of. That my man, was one heck of a display of driving skill. That is wheelman material right there. That car was sideways. Justin Napier still able to maintain the lead of the race, even though he's got a little bit of front end damage, which is quite surprising that outside lane wasn't able to get up there and get around, even with Napier having that front end damage. "21 laps into this green flag run. We still have right around 13 laps left to go before we see the end of stage number 2. Field seems to be pretty calm and collective. Do have a few drivers a little bit off of your race leader, and when I say a little bit, that is only 1.6 seconds, and that is Bobby Hamilton Jr. in his 25 machine. There he is, just at the end of this pack, so not very far to go. There you go. He still has the leaders in sight, just kind of hanging out, chilling back here in the background. So we'll work our way through the field here just momentarily. Gonna jump back up to the front as Cameron Hagman is beginning to battle for the race lead once again with Justin Napier, who's gonna have it at the line. I believe Hagman is gonna lead his first lap here today. Yes, he is. Great job by him and his crew to get the job done. Finally get one of those laps led in the book. Mark Truxell right there in tow with newcomer, the 9 of Travis Smith. There he is. He's the one pushing Hagman up there to the lead. Now Hagman is clear. Will Hagman stay with him? Looks like the 9 getting a little hot, having to get some air. That's going to cause the 55 to fade away a little bit now. As you see Travis Smith having to stay out, having to cool this car down, looking 3 wide now. Going through the tri-oval, and that's going to allow Justin Napier and Jason Spear to scoot away from the field once again. Big time push out of the 9, finds himself in a bad position, running hot, having to jump out of line, now going to slot back in third car. Oh, big moment back there through the rear of the field. I say rear, but it's just back here. I believe Channing Ballou and some of these drivers. Yes, Case and Plot, that's who I seen with a big time wiggle off of turn number 2 that time. And you know what? I got to do it because this thing caught my eye. This thing looks sweet. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. The first Horizon 88 Ford Mustang being piloted by Channing Ballou. I tell you what, it's tough for me to admit it. It's tough for me to say it, Channing, but that is a beautiful looking Ford. Beautiful. Back up at the front of the field, Cameron Hagman finally able to get by Justin Napier. Now Mark Truxell trying to make his way by Hagman on the outside lane, running into lap traffic. That is the 23 of Mickey Spear. He's going to be put a third lap down now as the field continues to make their way through turns 1 and 2, back down the back stretch. Look at the run that 5 gets. There's a half a car. Now a car length gain just down the back stretch. Here comes the push. Not gonna do it on entry. Travis Smith backing out of the push just a little bit early there. That's gonna allow the inside lane to... Whoa! Big moment by Truxell off of turn number 2. Chris Mathis now looking for pit road. And Travis Smith looks like he wants to lead that outside lane. He has rooted the 5 of Mark Truxell up out of the way. But I have to ask myself, is anybody going to go with a newcomer? Or will... Oh, big moment here. The 71 of Alan Dufries almost into that left rear quarter panel of the 9. That could have spelled disaster as we get closer and closer to the end of stage number 2. And I mean, these drivers are either going to have to push or push the limits. Either way, something's fitting to get pushed. That is for sure. J.D. Baker back up through and inside the top 10, running in the 11th spot. There you see the 80 of Brian Littleton running just behind Brandon Puffenberger. Your race leader, Cameron Hagan, still has the field in tow. Looks like Justin Napier's happy and content to run where he is. Jason Spear not jumping out there just yet, maintaining his course. And I wonder if any of these drivers are going to start to get up there and try to make a run with that 9, or if they're just going to stay there. Cameron Hagman with no issues right now, dealing with a battle car. Oh, contact with the lap car. Hagman goes around in front of the field. Travis Smith caught up. Justin Napier caught up. That's gonna be bad news for some of these drivers. Let's take a look back with our turn 3 replay. There you see the 18 battling to try to stay just one lap down. Wiggling a little bit, and oh, just right into the tire, right into that left rear tire of Hagman, and then carnage ensues from there. We'll take one more look at it. there you see the contact back across Hagman, hard into the outside wall. Multiple other drivers caught up. Baker involved, Smith involved, Truxell involved. Looks like maybe Brian Littleton was able to skate through that. My goodness, one more look at that. There's a lot of drivers involved in this. We'll back it up one more time. Catch it from the blimp here tonight. Very close right there. And that's all she wrote. Oh, Hagman just trying to save it, not able to do so. Oh my goodness. Oh, Brian Littleton skates his, oh my goodness, very close for Brian Mescal Jr. as well. My goodness. We will rejoin your race leaders as Jason Spear has caught up with the pace car. We are under caution once again here from Daytona International Speedway. Our third caution of the evening. But you do have to remember one of those cautions was your stage break. And gonna be interesting to see what these drivers do here about this stage break. 14 lead changes so far here tonight. So these drivers not afraid to mix things up. And yeah, whew, my goodness. I believe that is going to be the end of stage number 2. We're going to have to wait just a little bit longer to get confirmation on that. We'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. Looks like the field hitting pit road. So I believe that is going to be the end of stage number 2. So as we work our way around the track under caution here at Daytona International Speedway, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with all your racing action for Superior Class Auto Racing presented by Mug Root Beer. You're watching the Daytona 250. And welcome back once again. Pace car lights are off. First stage in the books, second stage in the books. We're set to fire it off for the last 30 laps in the Daytona 250 here today for the Superior Class Auto Racing League presented by Mug Root Beer. Your race leader, Justin Napier, fires off and away we go once again. Big start on the outside lane by Brian Littleton. Brian Mescal Jr. not getting as good of a start as he would have liked down there on that inside lane. But the inside lane a little bit more organized, a little bit more grouped together. They do have the numbers as of right now and starting to surge forward, hugging that yellow line. But look at Brian Littleton. With help from Mark Truxell and J.D. Baker, they are moving to the front. Baker utilizing that fast repair. Now we've got 3 wide, make that 2 wide once again as Baker slots in just in front of the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Tell you what, we're going to go down on board now with that 5 of Mark Truxell as he makes his way around this track, pushing that 80 of Brian Littleton. And Brian Mescal Jr. moves to the front, just in front. Oh, big time move. He's going to battle for the race lead now. As we are riding on board with the 5 of Mark Truxell, we'll jump back outside the car to show you the great battle for the lead. And Brian Mescal Jr. trying to get there, but just can't seem to do it. Now Justin Napier moving to the top side. That's going to let Channing Ballou by. My goodness, and now the 3 of Tommy D'Angelo looks like he's having a little bit of an issue as well. And could that be a little bit of team orders? Justin Napier coming up to lead that outside lane to shut it down on Brian Mescal Jr. and the rest of the field. And that's going to allow the 88 of Channing Ballou to start leading some laps here at Daytona International Speedway. Field still side by side, 27 laps to go. Long time for a lot of different scenarios and things to happen out there on the track, side by side, 4 rows deep. Brian Mescal Jr. all over the rear bumper of Justin Napier, and they just don't seem like they are hooking up rather well, not really moving anywhere as that inside lane starting to step away just a little bit. Don't look now, but once again, your defending series champion, David Bradford, right there at the front of the field, second car inside lane. We have got another lap car now just in front of the field, down on the bottom. Looks like they're switching to run the top side. I believe that is the 55 of Cameron Hagan. Hate to see that. Had to get a tow back to pit road to utilize that fast repair. That's put him now 3 laps down. We have still got 15 cars on the lead lap, and they are all right here in this lead pack, trying to see who will walk away with the win for race number 1, season number 2, here in Superior Class Auto Racing, presented by Mug Root Beer on iRacing.com. World's number 1 racing simulator. And Justin Napier, I'm telling you what, with a little bit of a crinkle in that nose, he is still able to drive the absolute guts out of that thing. And before we wind things down, well, why? Because Well, it's my favorite thing to do. So let's go one more time to our turn 3. Turn it up. Cars around, caution is out. That is the 78 of J.D. Baker caught up in this one. Let's take a look back with our turn 3 replay. Everything seems to be okay at this point in time. Everything fine. Oh! And there it was. There was the contact. Let's back it up one more time. Take an overhead view here from the blimp. Oh, and there it was. Contact between 3 drivers. One more time. One more look. Looks like the 2 got into the 83. And then into that right rear quarter of the 78. Right into the outside wall. That's not going to be good. We'll rejoin your race leader up at the front behind the pace car. Do want to give a quick shout out to Superior Class Auto Racing for, well, that blimp up in the air, bringing you all of the great aerial coverage out here from Daytona International Speedway. And your race leader, Channing Ballou, now will have the field in tow. What will he do? 11 laps ago, he was on pit road. We still have 22 laps left in the scheduled race distance. There could be up to 3 attempts at a green-white checkered here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. So these drivers have to be thinking of that. I do believe they have enough fuel. Looks like we do have a handful of drivers hitting pit road. Mark Truxell, Jason Spear, Justin Napier, Kaysen Plott, Alan Dufries, Brian Mescal Jr., Travis Smith. Well, let's just basically say the top 5 stayed out. It's a lot easier to put it that way. And while we work ourselves around the field under caution, I tell you what, let's see if we can't get in a word or two with one of those newcomers to Superior Class Auto Racing, running inside the top 5, and that's the 80 of Brian Littleton. You got your ears on, bud?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, my man. First race here with Superior Class Auto Racing. Find yourself under the 25 laps to go inside of the top 5. Is the team satisfied, or do they want more?
Well, obviously we want more, but I think big picture for us would be to just finish the race without any tore up cars. That's the thing here at Daytona. So if we can finish this out without any tore up cars and on the lead lap, I think that's a win for us.
All right. Well, you chose to stay out. Do you think that may be a factor? You're going to have fresh tires line up just behind you. So you think that's the right move, or tires not really a factor here?
Well, I'd like to think tires aren't really a factor here. It may allow them to maneuver a little bit better than the rest of us, but I think in the grand scheme of things, once we get rolling, I think they're pretty well evened out. So, I mean, we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens.
All right, my man. Well, thanks for taking a minute to speak to us up here in the booth. I know you're on 2 to go. You probably got to talk to the crew chief. So before we let you go, man, you want to give any special thanks, shout-outs, love yous, I do's, anything like that?
Well, we'll talk to you maybe after the race. How's that? I don't want to jinx it.
That's right. That's right. Good luck. Elbows up. Good luck, bud.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
There you have it. That was the driver of the 80 machine, Brian Littleton, sitting inside of the top 5. First race for him with Superior Class Auto Racing, and mixing it up with some wily veterans up there. You do have your defending series champion sitting in the 2nd position. Then you've got Bobby Hamilton Jr. sitting just behind you. Mark Truxell right there as well. Channing Ballou. So you are sitting in good company inside of that top 5. Checking in on a few of the other newcomers. Looks like you have to go back to the 9th place to find the number 9 of Travis Smith. Then 2 more cars back, and you will find the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Looks like Hayes Booth running in 20th. So Brian Littleton looking like the best of the newest, if that is even a category. Well, Jada, thank you. We do appreciate that. I know the drivers appreciate that. I know JD especially appreciates that. It's always good to have friends and family out there watching, supporting, liking, loving what we do and the things that we put on for you. So join us anytime here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Myself, David Worrell, or any of the other great members of Turn 3 Racing Network. Youth in the booth. Chris Lague, Rick Hammond, K.R. Stolfus, and Danny Valenzuela. I just like saying your name like that, Danny. I don't know. You can tell me not to, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna send it. You know how it is. All right. Business at hand. 19 laps left to go. 18 when we cross the stripe this time by. Pace car lights are off. Channing Ballou, your race leader, gonna start from the inside lane. To his outside will be David Bradford. Tommy D'Angelo gonna line up just behind him. Brian Littleton, second car, second row, outside. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. Second row, outside lane. Whatever. Pace car, get out the way. 3, 2, 1. There it goes, ducking off. We're going to get set to go back. Green flag racing. And we are back once again, racing at Daytona International Speedway. Channing Ballou off to a very good start, but the outside lane holding serve. Brian Littleton with a big push on that rear deck lid of David Bradford. Not scared to show him what he's got so far on the restart. Back down through turn number 2 on the back stretch. Still leading the field is that 88. Slowly, surely, securely, safely moving their way towards the front of the field. That outside lane slowly inching forward. Will it be enough at the line? I believe it was. David Bradford back to the point once again with help from Brian Littleton. It looks like Brian Mescal Jr. lined up just behind Jason Spear. We've got 4 cars out there running that outside lane. Make it 5 now as another has joined the fight. And look here, just off in the distance, running in the 13th spot, Will Jones, early race leader, starting to make his way back up to the front. Just going to do some quick statistics for you. Looks like Justin Napier going to walk away with the most laps led award with 25. Only a handful of drivers can take that away from him, and none of them are at the front of the field right now, as Channing Ballou leading that inside lane with Tommy D'Angelo behind him. Bobby Hamilton in tow. Looks like outside lane, David Bradford, Brian Littleton, as well as Jason Spear, Brian Mescal Jr., and away goes the 3 of Tommy D'Angelo. Little bit of issues for him. Nicely, kindly moves on out of the way, not to involve any other cars. Should there be an incident, not wanting to get blamed for blinking, so do respect that decision. But tough break for him, running solidly inside of the top 5, having to give up that position. Tucking out just a little bit is that 80 of Brian Littleton, maybe getting a little bit hot, pushing that 46, but gonna have to be careful not to open that middle lane or that high lane, because he could find himself getting stuck 3 wide very quick. Oh my goodness, almost right there. Almost happened right there. Jason Spear gonna fill the hole if Brian Littleton isn't careful. And that could spell the big one here from Daytona, should they do it right here in front of this whole field. The witching hour is upon us. Less than 15 laps left to go here from Daytona International Speedway, as the field makes their way back down the back stretch once again, side by side, all the way back through, I believe that is 11th position, all side by side within 1 second of each other. And this is shaping up to be a very dramatic end of the race for race number 1, season number 2 here for Superior Class Auto Racing, presented by Mug Root Beer. David Bradford moving back to the top once again. Thought about going to the bottom, didn't work out, finds himself losing a little bit of ground now, but Brian Littleton still in tow, still sticking with him. Big push from Jason Spear as well as Brian Mescal Jr. My goodness, these cars are pushing each other like it's the last lap. Oil temp, water temp, not really a concern for most of the drivers at this point in time, but with 13 now, make it 12 as we cross the stripe. That is a long time to ask to have a solid push for 12 laps around Daytona International Speedway. If you can manage to do that, I am sure there's some other drivers that would be willing to pay you money for that setup. Don't hate me, I just call it like it is. I mean, I'd pay for a setup that I can push 15 laps without blowing up, especially at a restrictor plate. You know how fast you would end up going? Just unreal. Absolutely unreal. In the cockpit with your race leader, we are on board with the driver of that 88 machine. There you see mirror full of Bobby Hamilton Jr. You can't even see that outside lane being led by David Bradford. But my goodness, look at that as we just now start to see the front end of Bradford through 3 and 4. Just listen to that engine sing. It is just wound up unbelievably, and we may be seeing something here, as just recently we had another restrictor plate race here on Turn 3 Racing Network, and it was dominated by Caution is Out. Looks like Brian Littleton involved. My goodness, what has happened to Littleton? We'll take a look back with our Turn 3 replay one more time at this to see what has happened. Everything seems to be fine. Right here, a little bit of a bump by Brian Mescal Jr. There goes another bump, sandwiched between the two cars. And around Littleton goes, trying to save it. Oh! And the 23 into the front end. Ooh, that is a tough break for Brian Littleton. Should be able to get that 80 machine fixed up and back out there on track without any issues as he makes his way back up to the front of the field. Channing Ballou, your race leader, slowly catching up to the pace car. So we have had another caution here late in the running here at Daytona International Speedway. That will be our 5th caution of the evening for 14 laps, 20 lead changes so far, and I don't think we are done with that number just yet. Channing Ballou slowing the field just behind the pace car, 9 laps left to go. Will any of your front runners decide to bring it to pit road? Your top 3 have been out there for 24 laps, almost the rest of the field, only about 12 laps on their tires. So gonna be an interesting call here for your top 3, whether they stay on track or go to pit road, and it looks like they're gonna stay on track. Just 8 laps left to go here tonight in the Daytona 250. Presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Channing Ballou leading the field. Bobby Hamilton Jr. just behind him. 3rd place goes to the 46 of David Bradford. Lining up 4th for the restart will be Brian Mescal Jr. Travis Smith in 5th. The number 5 of Mark Chuxell gonna be in 6th. 7th will be Jason Spear. 8th, Justin Napier. 9th, Alan Dufries. Rounding out that top 10, the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger. And you know what? I'm going to do a little something just because I can. What do you think of that? No, I'm just kidding. I do want to take a moment to apologize for some audio issues during the championship race. So with that being said, we're going to run a quick little commercial here. We'll be right back. And that wasn't it. This one's it. So now we'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lil Tate's Cupcakes 200 on the Turn 3 Network. We are a bakery based out of Owensboro, Kentucky, and we specialize in cakes, cupcakes, cakesicles, and cookies. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram and enjoy the race. Go number 5.
This is David Bradford, driver of the number 46 Crown Royal Apple Chevrolet, and you're watching the Little Tate's Cupcakes 200 on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
And yeah, I know it's not the Little Tate's Cupcakes 200 tonight, but I did feel extremely horrible for having the audio messed up during those commercials. during the championship race. So that's just my way of trying to make things right. Playing your championship driver videos. David Bradford walking away with season 1 championship in the bag, chasing championship number 2. Will he be able to go back to back, or will he have somebody else possibly knock him out of contention for the championship? We'll have to wait and see. 15 races in this season. We are watching race number 1 live here from Daytona International Speedway on Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, from myself, David Worrell up here in the booth, and everybody else at Turn 3 Racing Network, thank you for joining us each and every time you do. I know I appreciate it. These drivers appreciate it. Every other Tuesday night, Superior Class Auto Racing on Turn 3 Racing Network. Field is double file. Pace car lights are off. We are set to go back green flag racing with just 5 laps left to go, and things are going to get crazy. Or maybe they will. Probably. Maybe, probably might. What do you say? Absolutely, Jada. Possibly JD Baker might be able to pull it off. Might be an upset for the championship. We'll have to see. Pace car getting ready to duck off for what may be the final time tonight. There he goes, makes the left-hand turn. Field in the hands of the flag man. Green flag is out, and we're back racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Field all getting a good start. Your top 2 still side by side, heading down into turn number 1. Now Channing Ballou beginning to edge out Bobby Hamilton Jr. on that outside row. Your defending series champion, will he jump out there and try to lead that outside lane, try to jump up and take the momentum away? No, he's going to stay tucked right there behind the 88, and man, that is some touchy pushing. All 3 cars nose to tail on that inside lane. That could have ended very badly. Field coming off of turn number 4, right at you, back to the start finish line once again. Side by side, it's Bradford at the line. 4 laps now remaining in the Daytona 250, presented to you by Mug Root Beer by Superior Class Auto Racing on iRacing.com. And now Bradford beginning to lose a little bit of ground as Travis Smith is pushing the daylights out of that 88 machine. Will the field get to the white flag? Will we see the big one late here with what will be, big push there on Bradford. Sideways for a moment was Bradford coming through the tri-oval. That's going to lose some ground for that outside row. Will the 9 try to utilize the momentum off of turn 2, jump to that outside lane, looking, not going to do it. Now he takes it. Will this be the move that wins the 9? The newcomer, big moment, and around go a lot of cars. Heavy damage, caution comes out once again. We will be under caution. Oh my goodness. And I don't even know where to start. Brandon Puffenberger involved in this. We'll go back and look at this one more time from high above. Looks like everything's fine. Jason Spear right there in line. Everything seems to be fine up front. There's a push right there by Bobby Hamilton Jr. on the rear of that 46. The 9 jumps out. Oh, tough. It just closed up. The gap just closed up. Bradford tried to jump back down, and that gap was just no longer there, and a lot of cars wadded up in this one. We'll watch it one more time. There it is right there. Ugh, tough break for a lot of these drivers. One more look at it here. And there you go, cars everywhere. Oh, and up and over goes Will Jones. Back on all fours, back into the outside. Oh, hard contact by the 71. Brian Maskell Jr., Brian Littleton also caught up in that. Oh my goodness, a lot of cars caught up here very, very late. My goodness. Late race caution. That's going to bring us to our first attempt at a green-white checkered, and we're going to have a ton of cars hit pit road. Looks like Bobby Hamilton Jr. from 4th going to be the first car to hit pit road. Travis Smith in the 9 machine gonna assume the race lead. Channing Ballou gonna line up to his outside. Case and Plot just behind him. Looks like the rest of the field hitting pit road. So a lot of drivers caught up in this latest one. Brian Maskell Jr. on pit road. Brian Littleton on pit road as well. And it looks like Brian Littleton no longer with a fast repair, sitting in his pits a little longer than he wanted to be. Brian Maskell Jr. also away from pit road. 14.8 second stop for Maskell Jr. So car may not be that bad, but I tell you what, let's see if we can't get in a quick word or two. And I was looking to see if we could get in a word or two with the driver of that 88 of Channing Ballou, but it looks like we don't have his radio channel here tonight, so unfortunately not going to be able to get up with that 88 at this point in time. So we will look through, see who else we might be able to grab here. Looks like we can try to catch in a word or two with the driver that's going to have the race lead here when we get this thing fired back off. And that's the 9 of Travis Smith. You got a copy?
10-4, Dave. Go ahead.
Hey, bud. Late in the race. Green-white checkered attempt. First of possible 3. You find yourself with the lead of the race. Do you think you have what it takes to hold off this field?
I don't know. Right now, not really. Got no friends out here. My teammates, I think, got caught up in that. I made a move there, kind of threw a block. I don't know if I caused that, but, you know, you got to go for it. It's Daytona. Had a good run off of 2 there, pushing the 88. On the bottom as hard as I could without turning him. I don't feel like I got into him there, done anything wrong. I was just going for the win. But definitely can hold him off here if I get the right help. But being a rookie here, stripes on the back, I don't know how much help I'll have.
All right, my man. Well, field should be getting the one to go here, so we'll get ready to let you go. Before we do, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, everybody. Love y'all.
Well, taking care of that with one fell swoop. Thank you and love you, everybody. That pretty much covers it all. Easy way to not forget anybody. Easy way to stay politically correct as well. So we'll see if the newcomer, the rookie here in Superior Class Auto Racing, is able to get the job done. Will Travis Smith walk away with his first win in the series in his debut race here at Daytona International Speedway, the granddaddy of them all? Can he win it his first time out? We'll have to wait and see, as he spoke about some of his teammates maybe being involved in that. Brian Littleton and his 80 machine definitely caught up and involved in that. That machine a little bit worse for wear. It has seen better days for sure. Brian Maskell Jr. lined up in the 7th spot. He is the other teammate for that Dirty Air Racing team. So, gonna be tough sledding for Travis Smith all the way up there away from his teammates, but he's got a lot of good pushers around him. Kason Plott, Bobby Hamilton Jr., J.D. Baker still in contention for this thing. Man, I just, I don't know. Green-white checkered attempt number 1 about to be underway. Pace car lights are off. Ford Mustang will make that left-hand turn and get out of the way. We will get this thing set to go back. Green flag racing once again. There it goes. Field waiting for the flag man to throw. The green flag is out, and Travis Smith spinning the tires. Field stacking up on this restart. My goodness, that is not what that 9 needed. And now the 88 of Channing Ballou getting a big push by the 54 as they work their way back down the backstretch. Oh my goodness, big move there to get to the bottom, and now Travis Smith gonna get ganged up on by Channing Ballou as well, as that 19 of Kason Plott, they're gonna go to the front of the field. And that's a very interesting little situation, because it is showing Kason being in 4th place. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. Oh, big push by the 9 on the back of that 88. He gets loose. Travis Smith trying to get the job done. No friends, no help for Travis Smith, running into 3rd position. Now Kason Plott leading the field. Channing Ballou leading that outside lane. Field wiggling, dicing it up here, coming towards turn number 3. Travis Smith looking to go 3 wide. Oh my, back through the tri-oval one more time. Who's going to get it at the line? Ooh, and I believe that was Kason Plott as we were wrecking at the end of the race. Bobby Hamilton Jr., he takes a ride at the end of this thing, but walking away as the race winner right there. The 19 of Kason Plott getting the job done here today in race number 1, season number 2 here in Superior Class Auto Racing. So field coming to an end. Your post-race interviews brought to you by First Horizon and Turn 3 Racing Network. We're going to step away, get things set up for our post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. back once again here on Turn 3 Racing Network for your post-race interviews, and we will now catch up with your third place finisher here today, and that is the 54 of Justin Napier. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
How you doing, bud?
I'm honestly a little astonished here. You know, coming home third place with that car. Very fast car, very fast car. I got damaged on the first lap, so I was playing recovery all night long. Hit lap 70. I was like, all right, time to use that faster pair to show what she's got. And man, she was fast. See, I mean, if I had an unwrecked car there, I probably would have had a real great shot there at the end. But you know, I can't complain coming home third. And the Jack Daniels Cameron Hagman photos, 54 Chevrolet is just, you know, I couldn't ask for a better night, really. I mean, yeah, getting in wreck sucked, but hey, we made a great comeback.
I was going to say, I mean, you got to, you know, hang your hat on this one as well. Led the most laps out there, and you led those laps with a damaged front end, so definitely a very strong car underneath you out there tonight. How was the racing, though, out there?
Well, my first part was pretty slow because I got caught up in I really don't know what happened. It just looked like everybody checked up. I just ran to the back of somebody, and so we came in, we got that fixed up, and it was just kind of pretty much cruise control with the other guys. And then there was a caution. I can't remember if it was, I don't remember what it was for, but it gave me another opportunity to kind of get up there. And next thing I know, I'm restarting like third or fourth, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I need to lead a lap for the bonus points, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. And I saw the opportunity, took it. I got to thank Jason Spear. I mean, he helped me the entire way there. I mean, he had every opportunity to go on the outside, leave me hanging on the inside, and just drive around me because I had a damaged front end. So, you know, if anybody I'm going to thank tonight, it's going to be Jason Spear. You know, I definitely am going to owe him a beer after this race because he was out to help me tonight, and I got to thank him for that. You know, it was some really great racing. We had amazing racing. I think the show was great. I kind of hate that I was only part of it towards the end, but I got to watch the replay on the finish because it looked incredible. I mean, everybody was on top of each other. I was sitting there wondering, like, man, how did I get myself in this situation?
It was a good finish, that's for sure, man. But once again, Justin, congratulations on the third place finish here today in race number 1 of season 2. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the league for putting on another season. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors that are involved with our league. You know, this is like a second home to me. In fact, fun fact here is I actually don't have power at my house right now. I actually moved all my equipment up to my dad's house just so I can make tonight's race until my power comes back on. So, you know, and I'm not the only driver who's just as committed as this. So, I mean, we have a fantastic league. You cannot ask for a better league. You can't ask for better people. You can't ask for a better broadcast. I mean, this is where it's at right here, guys. If you're on iRacing, this is where it's at. And I got to thank all our viewers. I could go on and on, you know. Cameron for the car and my team. I got Mark and Alan working with me this year. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there, man. I'm good. I'm just thankful to be here.
All right, my man. We will catch up with you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
There you have it. That was your third place finisher here tonight. Justin Napier getting the job done. Now let's see if we can't get in a few words with our second place finisher, and that's the 88 of Channing Blues. Dave in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, buddy.
Hey, man, good race. You led a few laps. You were right there at the end, just not able to get the job done. Man, that's got to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it hurts, but we did what we wanted to do. We had a bunch of BHR cars up front. Our first race with First Horizon and Dr. Pepper and Whoppers. Yeah, we put on a pretty good show for the whole team. can't really complain. I mean, I made the move late, probably too early on Case in there. Didn't really have a big enough run to make something happen. But it is what it is. It's these restrictor plate races. We'll just go load them up next week and go to Las Vegas.
Now, tonight was the first time that we've seen the stage racing employed here for Superior Class Auto Racing. Do you think that changed any dynamics of the racing on track?
Yeah, 100% did. It changed a little bit until we had some of the cautions right before it. The whole time all the Fords were lined up, we were getting ready to make some strategy moves and hopefully keep it in the race in our favor and get track position. Because up here, at late in the race, as you could see, it was hard really to make a pass. I mean, you could make one, but you almost have to get lucky and get a good run. So, yeah, but it bunched us up at the end, that's for sure. I mean, I think that's what stage racing's all about. It helps everybody get caught back up and give the viewer what they need to see, good, clean, hard racing there. And I think you got it from everybody tonight.
Yeah, there were some great battles all race long. But Channing, once again, congratulations on a second place finish here today, beginning the season out with a strong start. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, I do's, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm got to say thank you to Bobby Hamilton Jr. for drafting me one for this First Horizon car. It's the first ride in the new First Horizon Ford Mustang. I think we did a good job here tonight. Got to give a shout out to Casey. We worked really well there at the end. We almost had it set up. We were going to try to go me win, him second, but he ended up pulling it off, and that was all good. And Bobby snuck in there fourth. Yeah, I got to say thank you to the other four drivers out there. We think we put the blue ovals where we want them. That's up front all night, and hopefully we can continue it all season. It's a long season, but I think we're ready to go run for the championship after tonight's performance.
All right, there you have it. Words from your second place finisher here tonight. Now, we will get to the man of the hour walking away with the race win, and that is none other than the 19 of Case and Plot. How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I don't have any champagne in my hands to throw in the air, but I would if I could. Great finish there for you, man, walking away with the race win.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a great start to the season. Can't thank Shannon enough for the push right there at the end. Even though he tried to go to the outside to get me, but it's good to finish 1-2 and I believe 4 for Bobby Hamilton Racing. And like I said, it's a great start to the season, and hopefully this momentum will carry on to the next race.
And speaking of momentum carrying on to the next race, do you think having the week off in between races, do you think that negates any of that momentum throughout the season, or do you think that it can still just keep carrying on?
I think it could keep carrying on. I mean, I'd love to race, every, once a week, but the way they have it set up, it's good. I mean, you ain't got to stress to be here every week, so you just got to space it out enough to make sure you're available every other week to make it, to have a run to go towards the championship. So I mean, that's something cool they have going on. So I'm just excited to see what the rest of the season's got.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on winning race number 1, season number 2 here for Superior Class Auto Racing. Look forward to catching you multiple more times throughout the year. So before we let you go and celebrate and live it up for the evening, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Just thanks for all the guys putting the league on, and thank y'all for broadcasting, and thanks to Bobby for putting together this little team, and hopefully we'll have some high hopes for this season and hopefully catch some more wins.
All right, there you have it. Parting words from your race winner, the 19 of Case and Plot. Well, we've seen a lot of different crazy action going on out there on track tonight. And, not much left for us here at Turn 3 Racing Network to do except bring you your finishing results, and they look a little something like this. Walking away in first place, the 19 of Cason Plot. Second position will be the 88 of Channing Blue, rounding out your podium positions. In third place, the 54 of Justin Napier. Fourth spot goes to the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr., and in fifth, the 3 of Tommy D'Angelo. Sixth position goes to the 9 of Travis Smith, while in seventh, the 80 of Brian Littleton. Brian Mescal Jr. and his 33 machine rounds out the Dirty Air Racing team in 8th. They finished 6th, 7th, and 8th right in a row. Good debut from that brand new team. 9th position goes the 7 of Hunter Kent. Mark Truxell gonna round out your top 10. Finishing in 11th position here tonight, the 78 of J.D. Baker, followed by the 56 of Will Jones. 13th position, the 46 of David Bradford, your defending series champion. And finishing 14th, the 53 of Steve Murdoch. 15th position, the 23 of Mickey Spear, while Cameron Hagman finds himself finishing today's Daytona 250 in 16th. 17th spot goes to the 83 of Jason Spear, and 18th, the 71 of Alan Dufries. 19th spot goes to the 42 of Brandon Puffenberger, and finishing 20th, the 2 of Hayes Booth. 21st position here tonight, the 18 of Chris Mathis, just behind him, the 00 of Quentin Murdoch. 23rd position, the 40 of Jeff Napier, and in 24th, the 86 of Colt Ansley. That will round out your field here tonight for the Daytona 250 for Superior Class Auto Racing, presented by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, do want to thank each and every one of you once again, from myself, David Worrell, and everybody else at Turn 3 Racing Network. Well, until we see you again, you know what it is.